You're listening to Terrifying True Stories. Can a rosary save you from something that's truly evil? Our next guest might just have the answer. Tonight's story is called The Beast in My Bedroom.
My name's Chris Garcia. The experience happened in Hawthorne, where my mother lived, but at the time I was living with my dad. At the time I was living in a two bedroom apartment, but he never stayed with us. He was always with his girlfriend in East LA, so it was me and my girlfriend staying there alone most of the time. He'd come on the weekends just to hang out and make sure the apartment wasn't on fire. This night, me and my girlfriend were just hanging out, like usual, in the living room, just enjoying the night and watching TV. And she was laying on me and I was sitting upright watching TV, and we both heard a really loud bang, like a really loud, like, piece of metal, right? Like fly across the room or something. I don't know what it was. So we just looked at each other like, what the hell was that? Because it was just us two. And normally it's pretty quiet. It's a pretty quiet apartment. So I told her, don't worry about it. And I got up and I went to go check on it. And so when I got up off the couch, I have to turn left to get into the hallway. And so I look down the hallway and I see the metal door that goes to the fuse box, like for all the electricity, right? It was completely broken off the wall. And it was so loud because it flew from the fuse box to the wall across the hall. So it's not like it just fell, because if it would have fallen on the ground, there was carpet, right? So it would have fallen and you wouldn't hear it because it would have been a soft fall. But it basically blew off the side of the wall, hit the other wall, and then hit the ground. So that's what I heard. And I was like, that's weird. So I looked at the fuse box to see if anything had been like on fire, if there was some type of shock, that would have caused it. But no, it was just the door flew off the wall. It was just weird. So I was like, okay. And I grabbed the door and I put it back and went to the living room and we were just hanging out. So for the rest of the night, we moved from the living room to my bedroom. And that day I had told my little sister, like, are you gonna come over? I thought maybe she'd come over the next night. Um, we had a conversation that she might have come, she was maybe coming over. So we're laying in bed and I hear a knock, right? And at first it was just a slight knock, so I thought it was my sister. But the weird part was that I was in my bedroom and she knocked my bedroom door. So I was like, if she would have knocked the very front door, and I would have let her in the house. So I was like, at this point she's already in the house. So I was like, that's weird, because she didn't have a key. That's the whole reason that I was like, okay, are you coming over or not? So anyway, she was in the house, so I figured, I must have left the front door open. She knocked on my bedroom door, and so I just naturally I go, hey, what's up, Chelsea? Come in, right? Because I wasn't expecting anyone else. So I was like, what's up, Chelsea? Come in, and no response. So I didn't think anything of it. I kind of laughed it off. I was like, she's just gonna chill in the living room or whatever. And little time goes by, and I hear another knock at the door, and I'm like, all right, stop playing around, like just come inside or whatever. And this isn't normal of her to try to scare people or try to be weird like that. So I was like, what? This is just weird, right? So let it be again. I gave it some more time, thinking like, she's just being dumb. But then I heard another knock, and this one was a little more aggressive. And I was just like, what the hell? I didn't like it, so I got up, and my instinct was just to grab my pocket knife, because I was like, someone's in my house, and it's not my little sister. This isn't good, right? So I told my girlfriend to just stay on the bed and just relax, right? And so I went to the door and I got closer to the door, and that's when I saw the actual knob of the door shaking with another bang on the door, right? So it got a little more aggressive as I got to the door. So my mind didn't go immediately paranormal. I'm still thinking there's somebody in my house. I'm still thinking somebody's out there trying to mess with me and they're trying to scare me, right? So when I go from I normally go from like kind of being frightened and scared to like angry, because I'm not afraid. I'm more angry that someone's trying to scare me and fill me with fear, right? So then from the anger, then comes the courage to do something about it, right? So now I'm angry and I'm just like, what's going on? And I say from the other side, from my room to the hallway, and I go, if somebody's in my house, like, I'm gonna come out and this isn't gonna be nice. In other words, like, I'm trying to protect myself and my girlfriend. So be ready. I'm gonna whoop your ass. Excuse my language, but I'm just like, this is gonna go down as soon as I open this door. So please, like, say something, because I'm ready to protect me and my own house. So just grab the doorknob and I like fling it open, right? But I don't go into the hallway. I just open it. And by now I'm in the bedroom. Everything is dark outside because I just shut everything off. And it's pretty dark. It's just a hallway. I can't see anything. I'm looking at a wall, a dark wall, because it's all dark. So I'm like, I need to go across the hallway to even flick the light on. And my adrenaline's pumping, so I didn't think like, oh, I can get my phone and use the flashlight or anything. I was just like at the door. I'm like, what do I do? So I'm like, okay, so someone's out there, they're just waiting for me. So I was like, fuck it. So I just ran across the hall and turned the light on. And I immediately start like, have my head on a swivel, looking left, looking right, like what's going on? And nothing. I checked the bathroom, I checked the living room, I checked the kitchen. This is something happening in my house that I have no control over. I can't see it, and it's just messing with me. Like it has an intention to mess with us. It's at my door, like I try to see it from its perspective. Like it's just in front of my door, banging on my door, trying to freak us out. So then I'm laying there and we're just like freaked out, trying to calm down. And I had closed the door, and then it opens up by itself. And I go, fuck. Like I said, I get pissed off. I get mad. I'm not scared. I'm like, all right, this is it. Like, you're gonna stop messing with us. This isn't cool. So at the time, I was getting ready to go to the military. My intention was to go straight out of high school. And so I had like this big giant log that I had gotten hiking. Like it was maybe like 4 foot wide, but it weighed like close to maybe 200. And so, but I was strong enough to pick it up and take it hiking just to exercise with it, right? I had whatever. So got the log and I leaned it up against the door. I closed the door and I leaned up the log up against the door and I said, because it didn't have a lock. It was just a door handle to open in and out, like whatever. So I was like, I don't want this to happen all night, my door messing with us, and then who knows what's gonna happen the rest of the night. Like I don't want it slamming on us. And I was more concerned about my girlfriend. I was like, you can mess with me all you want, but I don't want her to be scared like staying here. So I leaned the log up against the door. And thankfully the door didn't open up anymore. And I was like, if it does open, then this thing is strong, because that log is heavy. So I was just like, okay, we let it be. Ah, man, that gave me chills thinking about it. Cause just like having to protect yourself from someone like a thief coming into your house is different from like not being able to see anything. Like, what do you do? I'm just like, God. By now we're both knocked out. So my eyes open and then I realize that I can't move. I can't move a muscle. And I'm like, all I can move is my eyes. So my eyes are looking around the room and I remember hearing clear as day like a giant waterfall behind my head, right? So it's like I'm laying in front of just crashing water. Like if you could just picture like a giant waterfall right behind you, that's all you hear. Running water, crashing water, and I'm like, okay, so I'm in sleep paralysis. You're conscious of what's going on, but at the same time there's hallucinations and you can't move a muscle. All you can move is your eyes. And so you're looking around. My first thought was like to grab my cross on my chain because I was raised Catholic, but I don't label myself as either Christian. I just believe there's a God, right? So I'm trying to move my right hand as close to my chest to grab my chain as possible. So I'm just looking at my hand, trying to make that connection, and my hand was barely moving because when you're in sleep paralysis, it feels like something's not only can you not move, but you feel a pressure on your whole body holding you down almost like something's keeping you from getting up. So I'm trying my best to move my right hand and it got kind of far, but it's not even close to my chest to where I can grab it because at the same time that I'm trying to move my hand, I'm praying, right? Naturally I go to that. I'm just praying to God to get me out of this because I hear the crashing the water behind me. I feel a presence in my house, not in my room, but outside in the hallway. So just like earlier, like there's something out there. I feel the presence, and it's weird because you catch the intention of the presence. Like I'm in your house, I'm walking around, and there's nothing you can do about it. That's kind of what I caught, right? And then I hear like tapping on my bed, like if you just lay your hand on a pillow or something, I go like boom, right? And I heard like there were little feet like walking around me like boom 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 all around me. So I was just like, oh man, whatever it is, it's right here and I can't move it. I'm powerless, right? And so I'm trying to snap out of it, looking at my hand, and then finally I snap out of it. And it's crazy when you're in sleep paralysis because it's not like you were asleep with your eyes closed and then you wake up. My eyes were open and conscious the entire time. So when you snap out of it, you're still there, but everything fades away. The crashing water faded away. The presence, the what I felt, it kind of just went away. It's kind of like you separate from a different reality, right? Whether it's paranormal or not, it's an experience that it's terrifying. It's terrifying because you're immobile and you're still awake. To me, it's kind of like when people get surgery and they go under, but they wake up and the anesthesia hasn't done anything but like freeze their body. So anyway, so I snapped out of it. The next morning we wake up, right? We're just like, okay, that was crazy, right? Like I have to move the log from the door and the damn fuse box is broken. I have to figure out how to fix the door, and we're just both like in this like thing where she had never experienced anything paranormal. I had, so we were just talking about it. We were just like, this is is this place haunted? Because nothing has ever happened here before, you know? Um, or did something just follow us from wherever? I don't know. We were just trying to figure it out. Because I feel very protected as far as like anything spiritual. And her also. She has people that have passed that we believe they're looking over her, right? So I kind of had like what you see right here, like the cross with the rosary, like just kind of like a little shrine with people who have passed and, believing that they're protecting me and being able to look at them, light candles and stuff like that. So my old apartment, I had the same setup right by the front door. So we're getting up in the morning and setting up, and then we look at the ground, and I'm pretty tidy, pretty clean. I keep everything clean. Like the carpet on the ground was clean and everything, and I see just a clear as day, a footprint. Right? It's just a footprint standing right in front of that shrine where all the crosses and all the rosaries were, like it was facing it, right? And the craziest part was that the toes on it were like, it was three toes that you could see, and that's what really freaked me out because it was like abnormal, like otherworldly footprint. It wasn't huge and it wasn't small. It was right in between. Like I'm an 11, so it was like way smaller than that, but it wasn't a baby foot. It was kind of right in between. And craziest part is how dirty it was and how dark it was compared to everything else because the carpet was clean. It was just a dirty, dark footprint, like facing the crosses and the shrine, the rosary, and the pictures of everyone that I believe is protecting me. And end of the toes was really pointy, really like distinctive. Like it was shocking how clear it was that it was a footprint because you could see that there would have been nails there that would have been sharp at the end. So I'm thinking, get the hell, like, I don't know if I'm allowed to cuss on this, but I was like, get the fuck out of here. Are you serious? And we're both just staring at it in shock. Like, we couldn't believe that there's an actual physical, like, footprint that you could look at and be like, there was something in our house. And so I just start praying immediately, doing what I can to, like, get rid of any energy, negative energy, or in my mind, I thought it was a demon. I went straight, like, demon, something's trying to mess with me. I believe like evil in general try to come at good people when they know that you're level or you're connected in a positive way. They try to come and bring you down. So it's like them knowing that I'm protected and I'm against it. They try to mess with me left and right. And so I went, okay, like I'm stronger than you, so I'm not gonna let you affect me, right? But it's still there. So you're just like, and I'm looking at the footprint, and I did my best to try to clean it, and it couldn't go away, honestly. But this was a dark, like I'm talking dark, like someone had drawn it with like coal or something, like not a black marker. It wasn't like that, but it was like just dark, and like it was almost like in the movies when you see something evil walk through like nice grassy field or some flowers and they immediately die. It was kind of like that. Like the carpet was just dead right there. After that, it wasn't like we were gonna move out or anything, but we would just we just had to accept it, and just hope that it wouldn't happen again. Changed me in the way that I needed to be stronger, because not that I was fearless, but I did feel that fear, so I had to connect with my faith and be sure, not to be sure, but be stronger in believing that I was gonna be okay. I believe that having all of that, the crosses, the holy water, the candles, and all of that kind of like pushed it away, because when I saw the footprint looking right like towards it, and I was like, okay, once that's when it knew like this is no one to mess with, because it got past the door obviously, and it stopped right there, right before getting to us. That's what I believe.
Next time on Terrifying True Stories, we're going to gather around the campfire and I'm going to tell you a terrifying true story about a Ouija board. If you're enjoying Terrifying True Stories, be sure to follow us. And if you really like us, leave a review. If you don't like us, forget our name. I'm your host, Ryan Azevedo. I'm your host, Ryan Azevedo. I'll see you on the other side. I'm your host, Ryan Azevedo. I'll see you on the other side.